Zone of the Enders, the second runner, originally debuted on March 10, 2003 for the PS2 in North America. In 2012, it was re-released in an HD collection with the first game on PS3 and Xbox 360. This third port ditches the first game and adds in VR support as the big gimmick along with further enhanced resolutions. You play as Dingo Egret, a miner who happens upon the orbital frame, this universe's version of a Gundam, Jehuti. Dingo and his crew are attacked by Baram, a sort of Mars liberation terrorist group, shortly thereafter. Dingo gets in, starts blowing the heck out of unmanned mechs, vowing revenge against Baram, and that's pretty much it. Story is presented in three ways. There are animated cutscenes, in-game cutscenes, and dialogue through animated portraits akin to Metal Gear Solid's Kodak conversations. And ding ding ding, I just said the magic word. While Hideo Kojima did not direct this game originally, he was a producer and you can tell he had his hands all over it. There's a lot of things in the story and the game overall that feels very Metal Gear-y. Overall, everything moves too fast though without much rhyme or reason. It's not that the narrative is bad, it's just very simple without much characterization between Dingo and his fellow co-stars. What's worse is the voice acting. Oh, it's fine enough, but the dialogue is laughable and the lip syncing is off the charts. And given that the game was cleaned up to an HD shine, it's jarring to watch a standard definition anime alongside the aforementioned awful lip syncing. Enough about the story now though, let's get to the gameplay. So Jehuti basically has 5 attacks from the get-go. You can shoot lasers at single enemies, or hold the triggers and to cast a barrage. You can also hold up a shot Spirit Bomb style. If you get close to an enemy, you'll deploy your blade, or you can grab a hold of your foes and use them for weapons, or just toss them around into the ground for a satisfying explosion. The camera angles, along with the less than stereo lock-on, proved to be just as hindering as it was back when I played this for the first time as a teenager, but when the combat is working on all cylinders, it's just as fast and frenetic as I remembered it. There are other accompaniments to gameplay though. After boss fights or story pieces, you'll get sub-weapons like new lasers, shields, etc. I would argue you get too many without any of them sticking out until the very end, and by that point it's too late, although if you beat the game you can play it again with unlocked equipment and experience. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that you level up, which essentially just increases your HP and sub-weapon meters. But based on everything I've said up to this point, you can pretty much gather that the game is kind of all over the place and reaching for things way above its pay grade. The biggest complaint from the first Zone of the Enders was its length, which was about 2 hours. Now you're in for about 4. Wow, I know, it doubled. Sarcasm aside, there are reasons to replay it again, like unlocked gear. There are also a handful of modes, including galleries, a boss rush, and even a fighting game. Let's finally talk about the big feature here though, VR. From start to finish, you can play right in the cockpit of Jehuti, and I would not recommend it. This is half-assed at best. It doesn't feel like you're piloting Jehuti, it just looks like you're watching from the cockpit, which is just distracting. Things do appear closer and you can look around, but the environments don't really offer much in terms of a wow factor in the first place, other than the exquisitely designed mechs. The core of Zone of the Enders, the second runner, is still good. As a teenager, this was my jam, but it hasn't aged well overall. The improvement for this port are pretty dismal, but at least it's only $30, and by the end of this year, hey, maybe it'll even be cheaper. If you miss it the first or second time around, then I do think it's worth a playthrough. There's no mech game quite like it, even with its flaws. Just don't expect a mesmerizing VR experience. My name is Tristan, and you've been watching ReActionExaminer, wherein I do my best to create interesting videos to entertain and educate you fine folks. Be sure to subscribe, that helped me out a lot. And if you want to check out more, be sure to read my work over on The Gamer, wherein I write fun little listicles. You can also drop by my personal website, GameJerk, wherein I post other articles and reviews. All these links and more can be found in the description below. Thanks, and see you all next time.